All right, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you like this content. We got some exciting stuff going on for you today. William, you're back.
Yep.
Didn't scare you off last time?
Nope.
All right. Well, we're going to jump into some construction defects. Are they construction defects, or are these just what we call material defects?
I would say material defects
Okay.
and some things that are built to standards back in the day, but not up to standards today.
Okay. All right. I think you're being politically correct there, but I think we got some construction defects here too. So,
Yes.
all right. So let's go ahead and dive right in. What do you got up there? Ooh.
So, like last week, these are all photos from inspections I've been performing in the past 7 days. And this is actually a house that I inspected. It was about 8 years old, so built 2015. And what we have that we're looking here is we're looking at an enclosed framed balcony off of the home.
What city is that in? That looks like Los Angeles.
This is Beverly Hills.
That's Beverly Hills. Ooh, okay. And then what level are we on there?
It's a 4-story home that goes down the hillside.
Okay, 4-story home. This is the back of the home, overlooking the hill.
Correct.
So they got, what level is that balcony?
The second level.
So that balcony is on the second level. And tell us what's going on there.
So what you see here is, visually you can see a crack, and there's actually, it's really hard to tell, but there's actually a water stain around that crack.
Okay.
Now,
Well, that looks like like an arc. That whole thing is like a dark stain underneath there.
yeah, that too. The big black stain underneath. So there's signs that moisture is getting to the framing.
Right. So moisture is actually leaking through the decking of the balcony into the boxed framing of that balcony.
Correct. And
did the lights work?
The lights did work.
The lights worked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, 2015, it was actually okay the way this deck was built. Now, in 2018, they made revisions to the code.
Okay. 2018, they revised the California Residential Code.
The International Residential Code.
Okay, there we go. The International Residential Code, which was what the California Residential Code was based off of.
Correct. And essentially, they want air ventilation on the underside of these balconies.
I wonder why they'd want vents. Interesting. Maybe to dry out the moisture inside the boxed frame, right?
Correct.
Okay. That makes sense. But when this was built, it didn't have that.
Correct. So I'm essentially going to be recommending a contractor install a vent, and hopefully when he cuts out the opening for the vent, he can get a good idea of what the condition of the framing
in there. I bet it's rotted out pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm even looking, I looked on the very top part. Are we going to get to see the top deck on this or no?
We did get to see the top deck on this. I can skip forward.
Yeah, skip forward some photos, because if you look at what's on that top deck, looks like carpet. I mean, what?
They installed turf on top of it.
So we got turf on top of the deck, which is just going to hold moisture on an area that we don't want moisture sitting on.
Correct.
Which can definitely cause that deck to fail, and that would be a safety concern. That could be catastrophic if somebody was standing on that sucker and it just fell down.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Looks nice though.
It does.
It looks really nice.
Pretty. The view was even pretty crazy.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
All right. Are we good on this?
Yeah. Let's move on. Quit beating up the Beverly Hills balcony.
Okay, let's beat up the Beverly Hills structure now.
Okay. That is just an odd looking thing. So what level is that on?
So this is also the second level.
That's the second level. Okay. Same house?
Same house.
All right.
This is actually the master bathroom.
No stain underneath this one though.
No stain underneath it, but we got some unusual cracking patterns, especially for an 8-year-old home.
Okay.
We got some horizontal cracking at the stucco at the base of it. Or towards closer to the base.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that crack's just going straight across horizontally. Interesting.
Pretty interesting, right?
Yep.
I bet you want to see what's on top of it.
I do. What have they got inside of that thing? Ooh. And what is supporting that, William? Can you explain how structurally this is being supported?
So I don't know what's inside of there, but structurally, I don't think the support framing is adequate for the size of the
Well,
load.
well, go back a photo. So essentially, you can see there is no support, right? That room is just levitating.
Correct.
So the framing that's coming out holding that jacuzzi up is cantilevered.
Correct.
And for those that don't know what a cantilever is a wood framing member. Let's call it I don't know, a 2x6 or a 2x8, and they have them on center. I don't know, every 12 inches or every 18 inches. Protruding out of the floor of the house. So cantilevers have to be at least the distance this is sticking out has to go into the floor inside the house.
Yes.
So it can only protrude out half of the length of the framing member.
Correct.
So that's called a cantilever. I don't know. That's a lot of weight sitting on top of those things, William. So you think that's what's happened with cracking?
I believe that's what's happening with the cracking. I'm not surprised to see sloping floors in that bathroom.
Oh, the floor's sloping. So is it tilting up towards that room, or is it just kind of wavy?
It was wavy.
So since it's wavy, those cantilevers might be so stressed that they're deflecting or they're bowing.
That's potential. I mean,
Okay.
I wish I could get to it, but yeah, all the tile was cracked and loose in the bathroom, and floors were starting to wave in the master bathroom.
How the heck
closet.
did they get that thing in there? Is what I want to go back to that thing. Let's
We
see
were
if-
actually, me and the agent were
What?
coming up with a bunch
I
of
mean,
scenarios. On
how do they? I mean, really?
Yeah.
Is that? I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
We were thinking that maybe they craned it in there, or they just built it standing up. That's a pretty big window.
I don't know.
It
I don't
opens
know.
up all the way.
That's kind of crazy. I don't know. Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills. You see some crazy stuff.
Okay. Same house.
All right, another one. We're picking on this one.
We had solar panels installed on the roof.
Okay.
Can you see on top of the panels a little bit of staining?
It looks like there's like a round circle where water kind of pools on top of that panel in the middle of it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I don't know. I don't think they have enough slope. Would you agree?
I wouldn't want water pooling on top of my solar panels. They must be pretty flat.
Yep, they are very flat. And if you look at it and compare it to the parapet wall right there, it's almost perfectly level.
Oh, wow. You're right. Okay.
So I don't know. I'm recommending a solar specialist come and take a look at it.
Yeah, we do. So part of being a home inspector, solar panels are beyond the scope of the inspection.
Yes.
Some home inspectors are actually starting to offer to inspect panels using special tools like infrared cameras. But it takes special training, and you have to do a lot of things that most home inspectors don't know how to do.
Yeah. And maybe I'll send the photo over here to Mackenzie, but it wasn't too hot. I did take my thermal camera out.
So you did take the thermal camera out?
I did take it out. It wasn't getting too much hotter, but there was about a 15 to 20 degree difference between where those stains are and the rest of the panel.
Okay. Was it blotchy in that spot?
Yes.
So maybe the panel.
It wasn't overheating. It was like 80 degrees, but
Okay.
still cause for concern.
Okay.
Okay. So we just talked about that.
Yep.
Talked about that.
Oh, here we go. So these are, I like to call these job security. And we would like to thank Home Depot, Lowe's, and all your hardware stores because they sell these.
Yep.
They sell these types of accordion-looking drains for do-it-yourselfers. If you've ever tried to plumb a drain underneath the sink, and you can't do it.
Nope.
It'll leak. In trying to get things that are offset to set. And so, it's great that they make these and they help people out for a temporary use, maybe for a short-term solution. But it is not something that meets the plumbing code. And can you tell me why? What don't we like about these, William?
Well, one thing that I like to do when I see these is I like to put my flashlight right up on it.
Okay.
And you can just see it full of crud.
Oh, so it's just like
It's just collecting everything.
like mold, mildew.
Yep, you name it.
Okay.
Hair.
Yeah, and they just clog up, right? These don't. These clog very quickly.
Very quickly, and then once you start to have a drain that clogs, it really wears out the seal a lot faster.
Okay.
That's when you get the leak.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to talk about this one for a minute. I remember when you called me earlier this week and when we were talking about it. So this looks like an old patio cover extended on the back of the house, but it looks like they closed it in. So this is now an additional room, right?
Correct.
And the roof just fastened to the old roof.
Yep. Well, it's fastened to the fascia board of the old roof.
Okay. And it looks like it's not even an inch thick? I mean, quarter-inch thick fascia board?
Yep.
How was it fastened? What kind of fasteners did they use?
I couldn't see it. They put another plate on top of over those, but
I'm sure they had to been just nailed in, right?
I think they're just toenailing them in. If you look here on the rafter tail, you can start to see where the wood's splitting a little bit, like they toenailed it in there.
Okay. Wow. So fascia is not structural. Fascia does not have any structural strength. It's not really designed to hold anything. It looks like it's holding this. But those rafter extensions, what are those? 2x4s or 2x6s?
2x4s.
Yeah, they're just coming out of the edge of the house, and man,
looks like the exterior wall is handling most of the load. They actually had cinder block on the other side of the wall.
They did. Okay,
Yeah.
So please tell me you didn't walk on that.
No, of course not.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to walk on that. That is incorrect as far as the installation. And yeah, so the correct way to do that would be to come underneath that eave and fasten that addition roof to a ledger board that's bolted to the exterior wall at the ceiling, right?
Yep. And I was informed by the agent this wasn't part included in the square footage of the home.
Yeah, I wonder why. It's definitely not permitted. So, okay.
All right.
Oh, what are we looking at here, William?
We're looking at some pet chickens.
Some chickens. Some chickens. Looks like there's a couple chickens there. Is that a rooster in the back and a chicken in the front? You got a hen and a rooster?
No, I think they're both chickens.
They're both chickens. All right. Well, yeah, okay. They bother you?
No.
I think you were bothering them, though, weren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. That's why they're hiding behind the trash can.
Okay. All right. We got chickens here. I'll make it happen, baby.
You see some interesting things.
Where was that? In Los Angeles?
So actually,
Where
right
was
by our hometown, Laverne.
That was right here in Laverne?
Yep.
Okay, so it's definitely not country, but they're bringing the chickens.
Yep.
Well, they're probably getting some fresh eggs at that house every morning. So,
yep.
All right. Oh, so where are we? Where's this location?
Laverne.
Same house.
Same house.
But I mean, where are you?
I am underneath the house.
You're underneath the house in the crawl space access where we find all the good stuff, right?
Yep.
What is that?
So
It looks like cement, William.
We're looking at the duct for the dryer vent.
So that's not cement.
You can see
It looks like cement.
It does. But what you're seeing right there in that big pile that's all the dryer lint venting underneath the home.
So, you know what's interesting? If you really want to think about it, do you know that the more you dry your clothes, they get smaller and smaller in size because the mass of the clothes comes out the dryer vent?
That's why they shrink, huh?
I don't know if that's why they shrink, but I mean, if you look at that, think about how much, yeah, that's lint, right? I mean, that's fabric. That's literally, yeah. So they're just blowing the lint right underneath the house.
Yep, they're just blowing it underneath the house.
And that's been that way for a long time. That's a lot of freaking lint.
This is actually one of the scarier things I've seen. It's probably on my top 5 on my list.
Really?
Scary things. Because
why?
Wouldn't that be considered fire hazard or no?
Well,
I mean,
we'll get to that. If you see here the next photo, that is an open junction box underneath the same house, just collecting.
So the lint is actually just building up now and get in contact with
live electrical wiring.
High voltage electrical wiring.
Yes.
Which is live. So I'm an ex-firefighter. Many of you may not know that. And I've actually been called on house fires that have been caused because of lint. The one that I can remember specifically that I know for a fact was caused of lint was a water heater was installed in a laundry room. and the dryer vent got a little bit disconnected. Lint built up just like that, and it was an open flame for the pilot underneath the water heater. It caught the lint on fire, and that whole laundry room went up in flames. And so that is definitely a fire hazard.
Yep. I recommended having it corrected immediately.
Yeah. It's a good thing it didn't go up while you were under the house.
Oh, jeez. I probably would have crawled faster than ever before.
You'd been moving, baby. All right.
Because if you really think about it, not only will it just catch the open junction box, it's going to catch this whole mound.
Yeah, it's going to catch everything. And by the time somebody even realized what was going on, that whole foundation, that whole subfloor would be ablaze. That could burn the whole house down. So, I mean, I can see the junction box to the left of it right there. You can see one right in that photo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have multiple down there, but
yeah. Open junction boxes are a real deal. So,
yep. That's all I have for you this week, actually.
Did we go over everything?
We went over everything.
All right. All right. Well, hey, thanks, William. We'll see you again next week.
Yep, of course.
All right. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, hit the notifications button, and we'll make it happen for you again next week.